Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my Pick a Card video. Before we get started, I'd really like to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed to my channel and has been liking my videos and just leaving me all these lovely comments about the readings and how they connect to you and how you feel that you've gotten something from them. And that really does mean a lot, because that's my intention, that even if it doesn't always entirely make sense, you do feel that you come away with something that helps you in some way. So yes, thank you very much for all of your support, everyone watching and enjoying these videos. Thank you. So moving on to today's question, and that is there a possibility of a relationship between us? I'm thinking this is probably someone that you are not in a relationship with already. This is somebody that you're interested in. Maybe there's a bit of a confusing situation and you're not sure why it's sort of not happening for you. This is the question for you in order to try and get some sort of insight and clarity into why it's not happening. Yeah, so a love relationship. You may or may not know an awful lot about this person, but hopefully we'll be able to sort of bring a new perspective to it for you. So we have options 1, option 2 and option 3. I'm going to put the timestamps to each of these 3 readings in the description box. I will also put my email address in case anyone wants to purchase a private reading from me. You can email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I will also put a link to my Instagram account for the occasional daily tarot that I put on there, in case you'd like to follow me. But otherwise, let's focus on the matter at hand. So I want you to take a few deep breaths. Think about you and the person that you're interested in a possible relationship with. Focus on the question at hand and make your choice. Trust your first instinct. Don't analyse it, don't overthink it, don't doubt yourself. Just which of the 3 are you attracted to? If you need a little bit more time, then please press pause, because otherwise I am going to be moving on to the first reading. Thank you. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, here is your reading. Now for this reading I am using the Wildwood Tarot and the Llewellyn Tarot, and that's by Anna Marie Ferguson. So first of all, we have the 3 cards that represent what's preventing this relationship, what's sort of saying what's stopping you from having a relationship with this person. And this could be that's connected to you or them. So if it doesn't resonate entirely with you, maybe the issue is with the person you're interested in. So we have 8 of Bows, Hearthfire, 4 of Vessels, Boredom, 10 of Bows, Responsibility. Okay. So I think straight off, what's preventing like this relationship from possibly even happening is something to do with their crowd. This represents the tribe, the people that we're connected to, and that's obviously family, but also our very close friends, the people we associate with, our local community, the people that share our viewpoints and thoughts on life and attitudes, morals and things like that. The people we choose to share our life with, and that can be quite varied in modern life. You know, you might not feel that your family represent the people you choose to share your life with, so this represents them, or for the other person, their crowd. So there's something about that. Maybe for some of you, because this is such a general reading, what's preventing them is that they're already established in a family unit. Now, by that, yes, because it's so many people potentially are going to watch this video, they're already engaged in a loving, not union, because we don't have the Lovers or the 2 of Cups or anything like that, but where they are in their crowd with their friends and their family, they're emotionally satisfied. So they might have their own children, even if they don't have a wife or a husband, they perhaps have children and the support of their parents and brothers and sisters, and they're emotionally satisfied. So for some of you, what's blocking this potential relationship, and this might represent you, but I suspect is the other person, is that they are not looking for anyone. For others of you where that's clearly not the case, it's maybe their culture, even their religion, their community is the issue, that you're not compatible with their way of life, or for some of you, they are not compatible with your crowd, with your family. Maybe they're a different religion, ethnicity even, and it's just, that's the issue. You or their tribe. There's also an issue possibly with a slight amount of mild depression for some of you or them, but there's certainly a sense of apathy and boredom. Now that doesn't mean that they are not interested in you or they're indifferent to you. It might be just to being in a relationship, or just generally at the moment. We've got an issue here of two vases having water drip out of them into these big urns, and all of this love and emotion and passion and feeling, and that's what water is in tarot, remember, it's being dripped into these urns and then just left to overflow and pour away, because this woman here, there's just, I mean, just look at her face, she just looks miserable, she looks depressed, she looks like things are just not going right for her. So I suspect again that this is the other person, not you, because if you're looking at her video, I want to be in a relationship, you're probably ready. It's the other person. So they can't perhaps see you at this time. It doesn't mean that they will never see you. It just means at this time other things are going on, and it might be connected to, as I say, their tribe, their people, their crowd, their inner circle. So they can't see anyone at the moment because they've got other things to reflect and think about. They might be bored with it, but that boredom, that negativity is preventing this potential relationship. Because we also have responsibility. This might be why they're bored. They're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's a slog. Because that's what the Ten of Bows is. It's the Ten of Wands, and it's the going up all the way to there, but you've got a heavy load to carry. You know, it's about having too many responsibilities, too much to do, heavily burdened. So I think it's not going forward because of this sense of responsibility, too much going on and too much distraction, really. I think even if let's say you were to meet this person, you know, in case you aren't really, you know, this is someone you've seen at a distance and you'd like to approach and think, well, has it got any future? Is probably even just on these at the moment is that they can't invest in you, or you can't invest in them properly in order to make a success of the relationship. It's, you know, it's hard work to make these things happen. And according to this, what's preventing you is that there's no space for either of you to make room for each other in your life. Even if you tried quite hard, it possibly wouldn't work out because of this situation and this overburdenedness and not being able to think things through clearly. You might be out on a date with them and they're not really with you. They're thinking about this issue. Thinking, well, I should be doing some chores, or I should be dealing with this issue, and and you don't want that. That would be so awful. You're sitting there trying to impress them, and they're sitting there miles away. So anyway, that's what's preventing you at this time. This will change. Give it a few weeks, a few months. The situation could be considerably better, and the tarot reading may reflect something where there's very little opposing this potential relationship. So what we need to know is, what's working for you, what's the positivity in working towards you to get this relationship happening. So we have the King of Cups, we have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Two of Swords. Okay, so straight off I can see you definitely need to use your emotional wisdom, emotional maturity, understanding. It's head and heart. It's not allowing one to dominate the other. So you need to, if this all resonates and you think, oh yeah, the person I'm interested in, their family, they've got too much to do, and I can see that they're a bit low in themselves, you need to use that and think, well, is this the right time to try and start off a bit of a love relationship or an attraction, or you know, just even a bit of something to see where it goes? If you use your emotional wisdom and think, how can I support this person? How can I make best use of this time? That's really going to work for you. It's really going to help that person because you're supporting them, and you know, and being really mature about it, and compassionate. You know, you're not going to sort of completely throw caution to the wind and sort of say, oh no, it'll all work, we'll do all these things, oh it'll be brilliant, you know, I'll take on your kids and all this kind of stuff, and then a few months down the line you can't handle it. If you know in yourself that this situation of responsibility is not something that you can handle at this time, that's where you're drawing on the King of Cups, where you're using your heart but also your logical rationality to see something, see a truth. And I'm saying that because of the Ace of Swords, which is clarity, seeing the truth, cutting through all the rubbish to get to the truth, to see the reality of the situation. And that's what you need your emotional maturity and emotional balance for, your empathy, to see what's the truth of the situation. For some of you, you might think, well, this just means no, there isn't a potential relationship, or I don't want any of this, and this is not the relationship I'm looking for. For others of you, it's about seeing your way through to making the relationship happen, depending on the situation, because you do have a choice to make. It's about making a choice, balancing two thought processes out and coming to a conclusion. This lady's blindfolded because you need to close yourself off to other people's voices and thoughts and think about what you want, using your head and your heart. And that's going to help you with the possibility of a relationship with this person. I think actually, yes, there is a possibility of a relationship with this person, but it might not be a sort of easy one because of this situation. You might want to see how, and try and watch to see how the situation pans out over the next few weeks or months, to see what changes. For others of you, you might decide to walk away from it. I think there is a possibility because you choose it and they choose it. But there's got to be honesty and truth here. This is a grown-up relationship, really. You know, it's not a youthful love. This is grown-ups being an adult. Yeah, you're going to have to cut through a lot of things, see the clarity, see the reality of the issues and the problems, and then see the solutions and decide that you're going to pursue the relationship, that you're going to put in the effort to be with them and help with the responsibility. So yeah, I think there is a possibility, but it's going to take hard work from both of you. But then relationships do take hard work, so don't let that put you off. So there you go, those of you that chose option 1, that's your reading. I do hope that it has helped you and that it's made some sort of sense to you. Please leave me a comment to let me know how it works out. I wish you all the best of luck. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you very much for listening. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 2, here is your reading. So the 2 tarot decks that I've used here is the Wildwood Tarot and the Llewellyn Tarot, which is by Anna Marie Ferguson, in case you want to look them up. So these 3 cards represent what's preventing this potential possible relationship from happening, what's stopping it. Oh, so we've got the Shaman, which is like the Magician card in this deck, the Stag, which is the Justice card, and the Sun of Life, which is the Sun card. Okay, so 3 major arcanas. They or you, I'm going to say, they or you at this time have something very important to do. This is sort of life calling, you know, the destiny, if you want to call it that. They have something very, very important to complete, or you do. I'm going to refer to they from now on, but if you feel that this applies to you, it's because what's going on in your life, okay? So what's going on is, yeah, they're manifesting something utilising all their skills, probably something that's to do with on display, wielding their magic, wielding their power, probably even discovering their inner power and what they can achieve. They might be starting off a new business or building momentum in their life. I think really gaining their own power overall. Because we've also got, like, as I say, the Stag, the Justice card, which in this deck is very much rooted to this old Northern European Celtic idea of the king and the land are one. The law of give and take, justice, it's karma, it's about, again, about skill set. Someone's really learning how to utilise all their skills. This person could be discovering their true vocation, and that's not a career, but their true vocation in life. And it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be watching this and the person you're thinking of is in their 50s. It doesn't matter how long it's taken them to get to this journey. They are getting there, and it's about balancing out their life in some way. This could be after a short period of imbalance. It could be a long period where they've spent years not doing what they truly wanted. Maybe they didn't follow a dream when they were much younger. You know, reality hits us all where you want to go off and do something wonderful, and you discover you've got to get a job and pay the bills, and everything's not as easy as you thought, and you know, unplanned pregnancies and things like that, you know, and meeting people and getting married before you thought you would, you know. So they're balancing out their life in some way, and it's an important balance. It's not just an economic balance or even trying to find balance in love. This is in their life, in themselves, that they're re-establishing the rules of how they're going to live, and they're doing it in order to let their true soul come out. It's about, like, a divine creation, I think, if from memory, is what is one of the descriptions used for this. But it's about letting your true self shine through. So they're probably building confidence in themselves, or again, you are, in order to be your true self. That you're finding the confidence to say what you really want to say and do the things you really want to do, which is, you know, the combination of cards really does lead me to think that this person at this moment is at some stage of, I suppose in a way, doing what they were always meant to do, or what they were always going to be best at. You know, they might be rediscovering a skill they had when they were a child that they, as I say, were cut off from developing, but it was always their sort of gift, and they're rediscovering it. You know, even if it's just in the early stages, it doesn't matter. They have to focus on this, or you do. And this is why this possible relationship isn't going to be happening at this moment in time, because this needs to be focused on. This won't be denied, this journey that you or they are going on. It's about becoming someone, a true self, and possibly even manifesting something into the world that will change it, even just for a few people, that it will improve something for some people, that it will connect. And because we've got all these flowers and the sun, which is growth, everything grows, it's the sun of life. They're creating a new life for themselves, and it's something to do with the foundation, the core of their being. So this is really quite serious, and I mean, it's a beautiful thing, a beautiful reading to give out. I was really excited when I just saw those cards, because this is wonderful. They're really, I think I'm really drawn to the stag, this idea of the king and the land are one. If you have a good king, the land will thrive. And of course, our ancient ancestors saw this in a mystical way, but we more, logically, more rationally perhaps, recognise that if you have a good leader who knows how to lead people and to make things happen, everything just runs smoothly. If they have compassion for other people, but also an understanding of how things have to work, things will just work really well. And so on a much smaller level, this person is reconnecting what they want with the ability to do it. So they're taking leadership over their own life, and so now their life is going to thrive after this. So they must carry on and do this. And I suspect, even if the answer is yes, there is a potential possibility of a relationship between you and this person you're interested in. Nothing will happen until they're either very nearly at the end stages of this, where nothing can threaten it, or when they have finally completed this journey. This person, you or they, cannot have any distractions from this process. So even just to forewarn you, I don't know what these are. Sorry, I must get a drink of water. I don't know what these are going to say, but I'm going to say, even if they say yes, you might have to wait. So these are the 3 cards that show what's working for you in the possibility of a relationship with this person, what's working in your favour. And we have the King of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and the Hierophant, so another major arcana card. Okay, so yes, the answer is yes, there is a potential relationship with this person, a possibility of a relationship with this person, but again, I reiterate, possibly not yet. We've got the King of Pentacles. What's going to work in your favour is an established person, an established business. The King of Pentacles is someone that's an established businessman, somebody earthy and grounded, because it's a pentacle, a provider, somebody who is really established in their world. So maybe for some of you, this person actually is coming to the end of this journey, and that's what that represents. There's somebody who cares about their responsibilities and the consequences of their actions. So that's sort of connected to the stag. This is somebody who isn't flighty, who isn't sort of overly analytical. It's a very common sense sort of person because of the earthy pentacles energy. So I feel what's going to be working towards you, either if that represents a person in your mind and you're thinking, oh my God, then it will be that person, of course. You've got to take it as it resonates to you. But I suspect it's coming to, what's going to be working in your favour is that they're coming to the end of this journey, or you are. Because we also have the 9 of Cups, which is really the wishes come true card. It's good luck. It's emotional contentment, about having everything you need and being emotionally satisfied. So when you or this other person is sort of really happy and sort of they're feeling this sun of life energy, then I feel you will have this possibility of a romance, either of literally meeting them or them seeing you even, because I see this as even if you really, really know this person, because this is going on, they might not be able to look at you and say, oh, yeah, I do fancy you, I would like to be with you, but I've got this going on. They're so involved in this, they've got to just focus on it. It doesn't mean that they haven't thought, gosh, you're lovely. It just means they can't act on it. Or you can't act on them, by the way. You might think that, gosh, they're lovely, but I can't act on it because I've got this going on. What's going to work in your favour is probably good luck. In particular with this deck of cards, it does refer to luck and obviously abundance, because it's the 9 of Cups. So you might find that it's just this sudden piece of luck that allows a possibility of a relationship between the two of you. We also have the Hierophant, and I think what's going to work in your favour for this potential relationship, possibility of a relationship, is that possibly you're quite similar. This is probably more in the way that you view the world. Your mental attitude, your sense of morals are probably quite well matched. Maybe for some of you, you might know this person through a church or your spiritual beliefs, or the Hierophant's about following the crowd and following tradition, a mentor, a tutor, sort of a student type thing. So you might know each other even through somewhere where you're both learning about something, or they might teach you something in some way, or you might teach them something. There might be an exchange of wisdom, but it's very, very much about not rocking the boat. Not, it can mean challenges, but generally not really. That's sort of in a rare occasion, and so I think it's more likely that you're not necessarily going to completely challenge each other. I think there's going to be a lot of things where you say, yeah, the important things like, yeah, actually, I do want to settle down and have children. Yeah, actually, I would just like the two, or yeah, and I would like them to go to this sort of school, or yeah, I do want to live in this sort of area, and voting similarly, or being able to be mature enough to deal with the differences between the two of you. But I do feel in some way your background, maybe the way that both of you two were raised, is quite similar, so it allows you to bond together quite quickly. Whereas if your partner's had a completely radically different upbringing, although anything's possible, it would take a bit more effort. This one, I feel that there might be a bit of effortlessness in getting together and allowing a relationship to flourish. So I think that yes, this is a really lovely reading, and I think the answer is yes, there is a possibility of a relationship between you and the person that you're interested in, but it might not happen very quickly. I think this situation has to complete itself first. You might feel that this resonates for the two of you, in which case both of your journeys need to sort of be coming to an end. As I say, until it's assured that this journey is going to be completed as it should, I don't think this relationship will get anywhere or even start up. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. The answer is yes. So those of you that chose option 2, I'm very pleased to have given you that reading. It's lovely. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if this makes any sense and if it does sort of work out between you. I wish you all the best of luck. Please take very good care of yourself, and thank you so much for listening. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, here is your reading. I've used 2 decks. This one is the Wildwood Tarot, and this is the Llewellyn Tarot, which is by Anna Marie Ferguson, if you want to look them up. So these 3 cards represent what's preventing this possible relationship, or preventing the possibility of it. So this could be you or the other person, or maybe a mixture of the two of you. What's preventing it right now? So we've got the Woodward, which is strength, the 10 of Arrows, instruction, and the 7 of Stones, healing. Okay, so one or other or both of you, yeah, healing basically. The Woodward, which is the strength card, which is obviously, you know, it's about building your strength, being strong, controlling yourself, building up your inner fortitude, your resilience, your ability to deal with the harder parts of life, pain, loss, grief, sadness, anger, disappointment. So I feel that's a dominant theme. It's a major arcana card out of the 3. It's what's preventing you is the need to build up strength. So this could be due to a serious disappointment, a serious failure, a sadness due to the loss of a relationship. I mean, for some of you, you might, I mean, I intended it to be people that you'd never been in a relationship with, but for some of you, I feel that this might be a person that you've been in a relationship with before or are currently. Because I feel the answer is, the reason there's not a possibility of a relationship between the two of you is because there needs to be a healing after something, and that will be unique to each relationship. If this is someone that you've not been in a relationship before but you're really interested in them, and just are curious about it, what's stopping any possible relationship is healing. You or they have got to get over something quite serious in the past, and until you do, there probably won't be a possibility of a relationship. Because we've also got instruction. Now this is about, in this deck, passing on your skills to a younger generation, teaching children, you know, like this old man's teaching this boy how to shoot an arrow. So what's preventing you, for some of them, is that they've got to focus on their children or children in general, or, you know, some of you might find, oh no, they're a teacher and they're focusing on their career. But I think for most of you, it's about learning something from whatever this healing and strong situation, and whatever's incurred those 2 cards to come up in this reading. I suspect something needs to be learned from that, you know, a life lesson. And it might be something that they need to pass on, or you need to pass on to other people, like teach your wisdom. This is what I learned from this. And that's what's blocking this potential relation. This is what's stopping it. This need to learn or to teach, to pass on something, to focus on raising their own children and healing. 7 of Stones, healing. This man is sick and possibly dying, and the green woman there is trying to heal him, you know, through life and abundance and prayer and everything. But he needs time. He's unconscious. He needs to sleep and let it rest. So time is going to be another aspect of what's preventing this. Time to heal, to recover. If you know that they've had a big bad breakup in the past, they're not over it yet, and they're still working their way through it. It could have been something that really knocked them about or knocked you about. So even though you're sort of feeling that you're interested in seeing someone else, you're not really ready just yet. There's still stuff you need to work through. So yeah, that's the block, is needing to heal from something, something that's really requiring you or them to be strong, to be the strongest person that you can be. I'm just going to take a sip of water. So, what's working in your favour? What's the positive actions that are happening in order to maybe make this, you know, a possible relationship? So, 2 of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. The Moon. Okay, straight off, yeah, I don't think there is a possibility of a relationship with this person, because there's not really anything working in favour of this relationship at this time. Give it a while, and for some of you, we're not talking weeks, it's more like quite a few months and maybe even years for this person to go through this. Because we've got the Two of Pentacles, which is about juggling things, hopping from one foot to the other, you know, doing an intricate dance where you can't catch each other. And there's a sense of sneakiness going on because of the fox's tail. And there's turbulency and emotions going on behind this juggler. Things are just being juggled and balanced. It's like balancing, spinning plates, not balancing them, but, you know, just sort of, you know, hopping from one foot to the other. So things are just up in the air, they're all over the place. You probably don't know what's going on from one day to the next, and this is what's supposed to be working in your favour. So I suppose in one way you could say that the answer's not no, but maybe, but I'm going to explain why I think it means no. We've got the Three of Pentacles, which in a lot of other decks is three people working in collaboration to build something like a church. But this young lady is working alone to make a shawl. So what's working in the possibility of this relationship is someone working alone. So this person is definitely going it alone in order to heal. And what's working is a sense of collaboration to make something. But she's working alone, so there isn't a collaboration. So that, again, strikes me as someone working alone. So maybe this is it. Maybe the answer is yes for some of you, but it's going to take quite a long time for this possibility to come to anything, because what we've also got is the Moon, which is the subconscious, the dream world, the things that are just weird and don't make any sense, even illusions, our own self-deceptions. The parts of ourselves that we go deep inside in the dark parts in the night when we haven't got anything but our own thoughts, and delve in there. And that's working for you. So maybe it's reflecting on them going inside themselves in order to dig deep and get over something very dark happening to them. And healing over it. I mean, this could be anything, and it could be as far back into their childhood or more recently, because there's so many people watching this video. Or you, by the way, you might think, oh my God, it's this thing I've had since I was a kid and it's never left me. And this is sort of representative of it. It's still deep within you or them. And it's just, what's working for you is this sense of weirdness, this sense like the owl swooping over, there's a moon reflecting in the water. Things are not as they seem. Things are confusing and weird. Like, you know, when you dream and it's not like reality, it's really like David Lynch films, you know, they're just weird and compelling and magnetic, but they're clearly not the real world and they don't make any sense. And I think that's what that's referring to, is that things just do not make sense. You just have to look at, there might be something that you do not know at this time. You know, that you might find out that's just a bit weird, because it's just strange things happening as well with the moon. You know, like this idea that the full moon brings out all the strange people. They all end up in the hospital and werewolves come out, and that, you know, like a lot of folk tales rely on a full moon because there's this sense of weirdness. So that's why I think the answer is no. But for some of you, you might feel drawn to say, well, it just means not right now. If you feel it's that way, I do have to say it's not for quite some considerable time. So it's a case of, do you want to wait for this person to go through this journey, or do you want to move on and find somebody that's ready for you now? Or you might need to give yourself a lot of time in order to be ready for someone, and it might not be with this person you're interested in, it might be someone else a bit further down the line. But I do feel that this all just means no. That's my interpretation on these cards, but you must take what resonates for you, and what makes sense to you. So those of you that chose option 3, that's your reading. I hope it's made some sort of sense to you and you feel it's helped you. Please leave me a comment and let me know how this all pans out. Please take very good care of yourself. I do wish you all the best of luck for the future, and thank you so much for listening to my reading. Bye.